Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to show you guys some changes I made to my bearded dragon enclosures. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and away we go. So this is what my enclosures looked like last year when I did them for the first time, and this is what they've been in ever since the changes recently. And this is Nova's enclosure and previously was Franklin's. Again, this is Franklin's. They are still in their Zen Habitats enclosures. I'm about to take off the doors so you guys can see how easy it is to access the entire inside of the enclosure. It's one of my favorite things about these enclosures. If you are interested in getting one of these Zen Habitats enclosures, I have an affiliate link down below. I did purchase these enclosures outright last year and then I was offered the affiliate link. But yeah, just so you know, I do make a small commission if you purchase an enclosure or anything through that link, so I just want to make sure you know that. But these are the 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot wood enclosures. They also have 4 by 2 by 2 PVC enclosures, and then they also have a bunch of different sizes of enclosures in general. I mentioned this in their previous video, but I really like the fact that they're not just black or white PVC like a lot of enclosures are. I love that you can have the lights inside or outside. I love that you can take the doors off easily. I love that you can stack them easily. I love that they have a substrate guard. But anyways, let's just get to what changed on the inside of the enclosure. So previously, Franklin and Nova had half tile and half substrate. The tile has been replaced with large flat rocks. Now the reason that the tile has been replaced by large flat rocks is because I actually came upon having these rocks because I'm getting an animal that I actually got a Zen Habitats for, which I will show off very soon because I want you guys to look at the enclosure and take some guesses, so that'll be pretty fun. But I decided because the rocks were so large and took up a similar amount of space as the tile to begin with that I would try replacing the tile with rock. It'd be more naturalistic, it might hold heat better, and so I was like, let me just put this change in there and see how it goes. And the moment I put the rock in, Franklin tucked his arms under his body and took a nap. He went and took a nap right underneath his light. It was so precious. So I did replace the long tile section with rocks. I also changed their substrate, but I'll get to that in a minute. They still have their same plants, they still have their same wood, and their same hides. Everything has just been rearranged. Because I used to feed them on the tile, they now have a bowl to eat out of instead of just eating right on the tile. I'm actually really excited about this because Nova is such a messy eater, and I was getting really tired of picking up crunchy greens out of her soil. So I'm happy about that. But the plants are pretty much all the same, with the exception of one plant, which I'll show you here on screen in a second, which came from Custom Reptile Habitats. And then they have the exact same lighting. They still have the Arcadia T5HO 12% UVB, and they still have the Arcadia halogen on a dimmer. So they have the exact same lighting situation. And then here's the plant right here in the back corner once we pan up. See it? Big, glorious plant. Franklin actually loves to sleep in it. I'll post a picture here of that. This plant was actually sent to me with an enclosure and a bunch of other plants from Custom Reptile Habitats, and I cannot wait to show off that enclosure. I was just waiting on one more thing to arrive, and it finally has. But I decided to put the very large plant in Franklin's because, one, it matched the color of his hammock very well, and I needed something to fill up that corner space because his hammock filled up the other corner really well. So I bought Nova a different one, but you guys will see that when we get to her enclosure. I also did add one more piece of wood in this enclosure. I forgot all about it. It's back there tucked away in the corner. And then Nova's has one more as well. So they each have 4 pieces of wood, 2 hides, 2 big rocks, and fake succulents and fake plants. Now let's get to the substrate because I changed the substrate from what I had before. Before, I was using a mix that I made myself of organic topsoil, which was baked and then sifted for sanitization, and then also washed play sand, which was sifted just to remove like any large chunks. You know, when you buy those type of materials from the hardware store, it's a good idea to sift through it just to make sure you're not putting anything weird in there. So I originally used washed play sand and topsoil as a substrate. And then Josh's Frogs released their arid bioactive mix. Now my enclosures aren't bioactive, but I do hope to go that route in the future. But this enclosure is advertised as being able to be used for arid bioactives. But anyways, I did buy that and I really liked it, so then I added it to these enclosures. So these enclosures have like 3 of their big bags, and then I also used a few handfuls of washed play sand to add a bit more sand to the mix. But I really like it. My only complaint is that the first like few bags I ordered were great, and then the next few bags I ordered had like different materials in them, and one of them was sphagnum moss, which I don't know why they decided to include that in some bags but not in others. The sand was also a different color. They also had black sand. So like, I don't know if just they ran out of supplies and had to make a new mix, but the first few bags I ordered I liked more than the most recent bags I ordered, but it could have just been an issue if they ran out of supplies or something, I don't know. The thing to keep in mind about arid substrates is that they can be a bit dusty, and you know, my mix was a bit dusty, Josh's Frog's mix is a bit dusty, and so it's an issue of like, you're gonna want to spray the enclosure down about once a week, not like really heavily mist, but just the top of the substrate to help keep some of that dustiness down. That's just a tip from me to you. Also, I apologize if you hear my dog barking outside because he's now outside and he is now barking. This is the bowl that I got to feed the bearded dragons, and also I got one for Aaron's blue-tongued skink, and I also got one for an animal that I don't have yet, but I will have soon. And that is where they eat their greens out of, and that's just to prevent them from eating like substrate if I were just to leave the greens on the ground. Also to keep Nova from making a mess because she's a messy eater. So here we are with Nova's enclosure, and she has all like the similar things, but of course it's set up differently because no piece of wood is made the same. So she has 2 hides, she has the hammock, she has the same type of plants with the exception of the custom reptile habitats one in the corner, which is a different one than Franklin's. I actually bought this one and I really like it. I think it goes really well with the greens in her enclosure. And then she also has the rocks, she has the big pieces of driftwood, and she has the bowl, and she has the Josh's Frog's arid substrate. She's the exact same lights, the exact same situation. Since recording this footage 2 days ago, I did make one change. There is a rock in the right corner of the enclosure that's just like sitting up near the front. She did not like it there. She kept trying to dig under it because she likes to dig by the front of the enclosure. So I took it out and she has been happy. She's been digging in that spot. So yeah, whenever you upgrade your enclosures or change anything about them, you might have a vision in your mind and then your animal will have a different vision. And of course you have to go with their vision because it is their home. So I did make that change for her. And then here is just an overlook of her enclosure featuring all the plants, all the driftwood, the substrate that I mentioned previously. And there's her custom reptile habitats plant. I will include a link to everything down below, including a link to custom reptile habitats plants that you see here, because I do have an affiliate link for them. So please keep that in mind. It is a link that offers commission. I wanted to thank you all for your kind words about Franklin. I talked about this about a month ago now. I wouldn't have waited so long to post another video, but I had COVID. But he had some health issues and was undergoing tests at the vet about a month ago. And unfortunately, I didn't really receive any answers. So it's kind of just a waiting game until the next illness pops up, and then we can run different types of tests, which is kind of unfortunate, but he is stable right now. So I just wanted to give everyone that update. He is doing well, and he is putting on weight. So I know he looks underweight, but that is because he is underweight and he is putting on weight currently. So I just wanted to address that and say thank you to everyone who had sent kind words. I really appreciate it. He also turned 7 this month, so happy birthday to Franklin. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. Also, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. And with all that said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.